Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, known here as the One-Handed Bandit. And I created this look and it's just something simple, nothing, spectacular. But I did use a very inexpensive palette, and it is the Hey LA palette by Essence Cosmetics, which I purchased from Ulta. It was $9.99. And this is what the palette looks like on the inside. Very soft, girly colors. And I would say that it isn't very pigmented. It's not one of those palettes that's super pigmented and it's overbearing, because some palettes for beginners are overbearing, and as soon as you put a little bit on your eye you get a big pop of color. You don't get that with this palette. You do have to build up the pigmentation if you're like myself and you're used to high-end palettes and palettes being super pigmented. You won't get that from this palette, so you do have to build up the pigmentation. You do have to work those shadows quite a bit. I would say maybe 4 or 5 of the shades work for me, but these two colors here did not show up on my skin tone. I know this one looks dark on camera, but it's actually not. It's very, very light. It would probably go as a brow bone highlight, as well as this one, or maybe a lid shade or in a corner highlight. But I only used these 3 shades here, and then this brown barely showed on my eyes. You can probably see it a little bit on the edges over here. That's where I added it, and I packed it on quite a bit, and that's still all the pigmentation that I got from it. But I mean, what can you expect from a $9.99 palette? I did also use the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, and I purchased this myself from Sephora. And guys, I love this foundation. The tinted face oil, it is very lightweight, it is sheer, but as you can see, my skin looks absolutely flawless. And come to think of it, I haven't even sprayed setting spray on my face. This is just me doing my makeup and that's it. I haven't even set it with any setting spray just yet. So a very beautiful finish, very nice for the summer when you want to do a no makeup look. If you just want a little bit of security blanket, you just want to add a little something to your skin, and you don't even have to do the eye look. You can just throw this on your face, some setting powder. I also use the Kosas concealers as well, and this is the concealer. So in the video I will be doing a voiceover. Like I mentioned in my last video, my son is home. My beauty room is his old bedroom, and over here to the right he is playing video games, but I did ask him to step out for a moment so that I can come on camera and just do a talk through, just to let you guys know that hopefully these voiceovers won't continue very much longer. He's going to go back to his own place where he belongs, just visit mommy for a little while and go back. Hello and welcome back. So today I am starting out using the P. Louise base in Rumor 2, and I'm just going to be adding that to my eyes, and I'm going to blend it out with my concealer brush. This is the same brush that I use to carve out my brows. It has a little bit of concealer on it as well, so it does help with the blending of the P. Louise base, and so that the base doesn't look as dark. So just blending that base all out, and then I'm just going to go in with a blending brush just to pat it all in. So I'm going to be using the Hey LA palettes by Essence Beauty. And this is what the inside of the packaging looks like. Very pretty girly shades. I'm going to start with this lighter pink, and I'm just going to add that to my brow bone, just packing it on, not doing any blending at this time, just making sure I just pack the color on very heavily. And as you can see, this color isn't very pigmented. However, it isn't a very dark or bright color. So I just zoomed you in a bit so that you can see the eyeshadow on my lid. Well, you know, my brow bone. It is much lighter than the color of my shirt, but it's a very soft baby pink. And the next color that I used was the purple. I just wanted to show you the fallout from the pink, but I did use the purple. And this is the purple shade that I'm going to be adding into my crease. So just also packing that color on first, and then I'm going to go back in and make sure that it is blended out. Now that we have the purple on, we're going to add this brown shade, and I'm going to only add it to the outer V of the eye. Just going to pack it in quite a bit. You will see in a few moments that I do lose the pigmentation of this color. It's not very pigmented to begin with, so you'll start to see how I lose pigmentation. But again, this is a very inexpensive palette. This is what I expect. This is something quick, something easy, something inexpensive for someone who's starting out in makeup or someone who just wants to try out some color. So next I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette, which is this hot fuchsia pink, and I'm just going to pack that on the lid. Now this color, I thought it was the darkest shade in the palette, and I thought it was going to be super pigmented, but no. As you can see, this color, it looks pigmented on the brush. It looks really, really dark and deep on the brush. But I had to really dig into this palette and get some pigmentation. I did go in quite a few times just to build up the pigmentation of this hot pink. So now that we have that lid shade on, I'm going to line my eyes with the Crayon Case SharpMe liner, and I'm just going to do a wing liner. I love this liner. It is very easy for me to create a wing. As you can see right here, I'm just doing the wing, and there we have it. We have a very nice and sharp wing. I am out of frame because I had to get really, really close to my mirror because I can barely see. I wear glasses now, so trying to do a wing liner without glasses is very, very difficult. So I'm going to spare you all and cut the rest of this because you can't see what I'm doing anyway. So here I'm just sharpening up the wing, just going over it just one more time, making sure it's super sharp. And this is what the eyes look like. So I'm going to be using the Kosas Tinted Face Oil Foundation. I picked up this foundation during the beginning of the pandemic, and I just went into Sephora last weekend to exchange the color. I picked up shade 7 and it was too light, so I went in store. Online it said I should be shade 808, but when I got in store, 8.2 looks like it was closest to my skin tone, and as you can see, it is absolutely beautiful. If you have dry or combination skin, this is a perfect foundation. I believe this will be my foundation for the remainder of the summer. I have been doing really well with foundations this summer, but this one is a definite go-to for me. It's a beautiful shade. It blends flawlessly. You don't need a lot of product at all. So also from Kosas, I'm using their concealer as well, and this is in the shade 7.5. So 8.2 in the foundation, 7.5 in the concealer, and as you can see, it's a nice shade. It's not too light, it's not, you know, close to my skin tone, but it does add a bit of brightness. So I'm just adding this all the places that I would like to highlight. Just a small area of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and under my eyes. Making sure that that concealer is completely all blended out. We want to make sure that there is absolutely no creasing. I am a little bit older, so I do have some under eye wrinkles and dark circles, and as you can see, that concealer covered all of that up. So to set the concealer, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty Settings Powder, and this is in the shade Cashew. So I'm just packing that on under my eye and making sure it's evenly blended and set all of the concealer. Bronze up my forehead with the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F16, and I blend that out off camera. I'm going to also add it to my cheeks as well. And here we are, all blended out. And for lips, I'm using the MAC Chestnut Lip Liner, and I'm just going to use that to line my lips. And for lipstick, I'm going to use the Kosas lipstick in the shade Rosewater, a very pink nude shade. And this lipstick is very soft, very moisturizing as well. I have dry, crusty lips, so this is a plus. Thank you all so much for watching.
I hope that you have enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next